today, May 17th, is the continuation of talks given on Arunavati Sutta from Samyutta Nikaya. So in the verse, Arambata Nikamata Yonjata Buddha Sasane Dunata Machu no Senam Nala Garanwa Gonjaro. So in this, we need to make initial effort, step up effort, strive hard in the Buddha Sasana. And Runata Machu no Senam, one needs to destroy the army, death's army, just like crushing the hut by the elephant. So just as the elephant is powerful and strong, can easily crush the hut in the same way. Yogi practicing Satipatthana meditation, when mindfulness and concentration is strong, one cultivates knowledge. When the knowledge is strong, can easily destroy the death's army stage by stage until finally, when all these kilesa defilements, death's army are totally destroyed, then one gets to the destination, being an arahat. In order to get there, we need to make effort every single second. So in this intensive meditation retreat, whatever the object is, rising, falling, or sitting, touching, or lifting, moving, placing, or daily activity, we need to make the effort. And the other day, I explained that when there is samadhi kanda, concentration group, having viriya, sati, and samadhi, effort, mindfulness, and concentration, which are called samavayama, right effort, samasati, right mindfulness, samadhi, right concentration, having the samadhi kanda present, priyutthana kilesa, obsessive defilements that can arise by lack of mindfulness will be removed every time there is viriya, sati, and samadhi in noting the object. And having sammasangapa, right application, having these factors present, discerning into the nature, such as when noting rising, one discerns that there is the stiffness or tension, which is materiality, the noting mind, mentality. In this way, one discerns into Namarupa. Discerning into Namarupa, one removes Attaditi. One removes his personality wrong view. At the moment, one discerns the Namarupa. It is momentary. When one becomes a Sotapanna, one totally removes all the wrong view to the point of no return. So in order to get there, we need to work moment by moment, one after another, to be mindful of whatever object that is arising at the present moment. So every time one cultivates knowledge by discerning the object that has been noted, having this Panya Khanda wisdom group, one removes Anusya Kilesa, latent, dormant developments, discerning mind and matter, cause and effect. Yogis are asked to note intention before doing something. Before one sit down, one has to note the intention, wanting to sit, and the actual sitting. When in walking meditation, before one makes the turn, yogi has to note wanting to turn, and turning. In the sitting, the intention to sit, wanting to sit, it is the cause. The actual sitting down, sitting, body getting heavier, stiff and tense, it is the effect. So the intention to sit, mentality is the cause. The actual sitting, heavy, stiff and tense, it is materiality effect. So by noting thoroughly, meticulously, the intentions as well as the actual movement, yogi can come to discern cause and effect. Intention to sit being the cause, the actual sitting, heavy, stiff, and tense is the effect. So by coming to discern cause and effect, one removes causeless view, ahetuka ditti, causeless wrong view is being removed by discerning cause and effect at the moment of being mindful and discerning. When noting pain, noting pain for some time, sometimes yogi get impatient. If impatience arises in the mind becomes obvious, yogi has to note it. Impatient. Sometimes when noting impatience goes away. But if the impatience doesn't go away, what happens? Wanting to move arises. So in this case, impatience is the cause. Wanting to move is the effect. And still, if the yogi is not mindful, yogi doesn't note wanting to move, but abruptly move and change position. So what happens is, if the yogi doesn't note wanting to move, the wanting to move doesn't go away and yogi move. But on the other hand, if the yogi note wanting to move, if wanting to move go away, moving doesn't take place. It is also cause and effect. Wanting to move is the cause, moving is the effect. If wanting to move go away, there is no cause. So moving doesn't take place. Yogi continue the sit, mindfulness and concentration becomes strengthened. So that's why when noting pain, if impatience arises, note it. If wanting to move arises, note it. If the yogi notes properly, one can come to understand cause and effect by noting. Sometime when during the sitting meditation, one hears something, one noted as hearing, hearing, hearing. In the hearing, there are the sound waves. The sound waves strike the ear sensitivity. The sound wave is the striker, materiality. The ear sensitivity is the receptor, materiality. When the sound waves strike the ear base, hearing, contact, hearing, feeling, hearing consciousness arises. Hearing, contact, hearing, feeling, hearing consciousness, they are the mentality. So in this case, the sound waves, materiality, ear base, materiality, these are the cause. Hearing, contact, hearing, feeling, hearing consciousness, they are the mentality, which are the effect. Even though there are sound waves, but if the if the ear sensitivity is not good, one cannot hear. If there are no sound, one cannot hear. So that's why the sound waves and the ear sensitivity is the cause. Hearing consciousness, hearing contact, hearing feeling are the effect, which is the ignition. So in the hearing, these five are the most obvious. The sound wave, the ear sensitivity, hearing contact, hearing feeling, hearing consciousness. They are arising as cause and effect. So in order to discern them, at the moment of hearing, when the mind gets distracted by the hearing in the sitting meditation, note it as a whole. Hearing, hearing, hearing. Do not deliberately be analyzing is this is the sound, this is the ear. But when hearing takes place, just observe it as a whole. Hearing, hearing, hearing. If the mindfulness and concentration is strong, one can come to discern any of the one of these five by noting, hearing, hearing, hearing. And in the hearing, there is the case where mentality is the cause, mentality is the effect. For example, there are noises all around, but if the yogi is absorbed in noting rising, falling, or sitting, touching, even though there are sounds around, yogi doesn't hear. In this case, because there is no attention, the hearing doesn't take place. If the attention is on the sound, then hearing takes place. So this is the attention being the cause, hearing is the effect. So also in daily life, if someone is absorbed in reading a book, sometimes one didn't hear something, the noise or something around. Because there is no attention, hearing doesn't take place. So here, tension is the cause. If there is no cause, hearing effect doesn't take place. So in the case of hearing, the sound waves, the ear base, and the hearing, one knows the hearing because the attention is on it. So in this case, attention is the cause, hearing is the effect. The example of materiality giving rise to materiality effect. So now when the weather is hot, in the body there are changes, sweating, the materiality, the rupa becoming withered. So in this case, the temperature, the heat is the materiality cause, giving rise to sweating, the and so on. It is the materiality effect. And also, when somebody feels hungry or thirsty, one feels weak, withered. But when one gets to eat food or drink water, this hunger has been relieved, thirst have been relieved. Getting the nutrients from food and water, one feels energized and fresh. So the nutrients from food and water, it is the materiality that gives the effect of feeling fresh and strengthened, which is the materiality effect. So that's why if the yogi pay attention in noting the daily activities such as drinking, eating, if the mindfulness and concentration is strong, one can come to discern in the drinking, in the eating. That's why yogis are asked to note every daily activity, do them slowly, mindfully, pay attention. If the mindfulness and concentration are strong, one can gain knowledge by noting these daily activities. When noting lifting the foot, lifting of the foot is the materiality. The noting mind that notes it is the mentality. So in this case, lifting the foot, materiality is the cause. Because there is the lifting, the noting mind that notes it arise. So in noting lifting, lifting is the materiality cause. The noting mind that notes it, mentality is the effect. If there is no lifting, the noting mind that notes lifting doesn't take place. So in this way, by being mindful, by discerning cause and effect, one can remove ahetuka ditti, causeless wrong view. And by coming to discern relative cause giving rise to relevant effect, one can remove visamahetuka ditti, fictitious wrong view. So in the case of hearing, because they are the sound waves and the ear base, hearing takes place. If there is no sound, hearing cannot take place. If the person doesn't have the ear sensitivity, or if there are defect in the ear sensitivity, hearing doesn't take place. So the sound waves and the ear sensitivity is the cause. If anyone or if both are not present, hearing doesn't take place. But people think it is the God creator that is making the person to hear. But actually, that is not the cause because there is the sound wave and the ear base, ear sensitivity, hearing takes place. If there is no ear sensitivity, if there is defect in the ear sensitivity, even though thousand creator may be creating the person to hear, but the person won't hear because there is defect in the ear sensitivity. So in this way, the person Understanding that relevant cause gives rise to relevant effect, one removes fictitious wrong view. It is not the creator that is creating the person to hear, but the relevant causes giving rise to the hearing. And as the yogi continues the practice, when the mindfulness and concentration is strong, yogi also comes to discern arising and passing away. When noting pain, at first one thing it is just one pain. But when the yogi pay attention to it properly, focusing the mind on it, putting effort in noting pain, first yogi come to notice the nature, the characteristic that is in the pain. Stiff pain, tense pain. As the yogi note again and again, pain. Noticing the stiffness, tension in the pain, as the yogi note again and again. Yogi can come to notice that this stiffness doesn't stay the same. It arises and pass away. Another stiffness arises and pass away. Tension. This one tension doesn't stay the same all along. One tension arises, pass away. Another tension arises, pass away. So in this way, if the yogi pay attention, at first, one come to notice unique individual characteristic that is in the pain, sabawa lakkhana. And when repeatedly noting again and again, if the mindfulness and concentration is strong, one sees that the pain arise, pass away, another pain arise, pass away. In this way, yogi discern the samanya lakkhana, common characteristic of impermanence when one sees the pain arise and pass away at the time of being mindful of it. So only when one discerns the samanya lakkhana, universal characteristic of impermanent suffering and non-self, one cultivates vipassana knowledge. And when one continues the practice, noting continuously, keeping the mindfulness continuous, Panika Samadhi, momentary concentration is continuous. Knowledge also arises stage by stage until finally one reaches Maganyana, the path knowledge, where one can destroy the Vichikicha, Ditti, wrong view, and Vichikicha, doubt, at the stage of attaining the first path knowledge. So when one reaches there, it is just like the example, the elephant crushing the hut easily in the same way at the stage of Sotapati Magga, yogi crushes and destroy the death army of Piti and Vijikicha, wrong view and skeptical doubt that it will never return. So a Sotapanna, having destroyed the death army, the Ditti and Vijikicha, has been destroyed, and thus there will only be 7 more deaths after this life, because Sotapanna has destroyed the army, Ditti and Vichikicha. As a Sotapanna has not destroyed other defilements yet, there will still be some deaths, yeah? But an Arahat, having destroyed all the death's army, there will not be any more deaths after this life. And the second verse of this sutta, Yo ima samain dhamma vineye appamato vihasati Bahaya jati samsaram dukkha sandam karesati. Meaning that the person in this Dhamma Vinaya is the teaching of the Buddha, the dispensation of the Buddha, the doctrine, and the discipline. So the person in this teaching of the Buddha, Appamato vihasati. Appamato meaning mindful. Yeah. With the Satipatthana practice, being mindful with the Satipatthana practice, mindful, non-negligent, vigilant, living with up, appamata. Appamata actually. Appamata is the word. Appamato is the person. Pamada is mindfulness. Pamato is the person who is mindful, vigilant. Pahaya jati samsarang. So the person who is mindful, remove jati samsara, rebirth and round of existences. Pahaya jati samsaram, dukkha sandam karisati. One makes the end of the suffering. So by being mindful, one removes rebirth, round of existences, and one makes the end to the suffering. So having attained Sotapatti Magga, the first path knowledge, a Sotapanna has removed many rebirths because Sotapanna only have 7 more rebirths. And Sotapanna has gotten rid of the suffering of many lives because Sotapanna has only 7 more lives. So there will only be sufferings connected with 7 more lives. But whereas Arahat, Appamato Vihasati, of course, Arahat is uh, perfectly mindful because the Arahat is perfectly mindful, 100% mindful. Arahat had totally removed all the rebirths afterward. All the round of existences will never arise again after this life. So an Arahat has put a total end to all the sufferings as the Arahat had destroyed all the armies of death. So yogi should be happy that they are practicing Satipatthana meditation, the Appamada that can put the end to all sufferings. As at least if one has become a Sotapanna, the suffering has come to quite few because there will only be 7 more lives. So that's why the Sayadaw always encourage the yogi to practice and say that also Mahasi Sayadaw encourages the yogis to practice. And Mahasi Sayadaw also said that one should at least put the Sotapatti Magga as your goal. It should be the least goal you put in this meditation practice. It is the least goal we should aim in this life while we meet this Buddha Sasana. So time is up. So this will all for today. So may we all be able to strive hard in this dispensation of the Buddha, so that may we be able to destroy the death's army, so that we can put an end to all the sufferings. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.